My name is Edward Gustely. I am the Managing Director of Penida Capital based in Jakarta, Indonesia. So in the mining space, our experience has been looking at distressed assets that we can come into and see if we're able to fix up and get on the get ahead of the curve before those commodity prices obviously take off. In other aspects of the mining sector, we are looking at more of how the digital economy can link to the underlying commodities and the traceability of certain elements which are being demanded now by institutional investors of how do you take it from the mining site to the finished product, and if obviously ethical means were implemented to ensure that those elements are being mined and developed in a proper fashion. So that's of interest. The other is looking at ways to, for example, in the precious metals, to digitize them in such a way that we are getting to look at digital currencies, or at least digitizing those into assets that are able to be traded across borders with less friction and intermediary involvement. So when we look at miners, I think, and you've heard from others also talk about, certainly is, what is not only the quality of the asset, but the quality of the management team, their expertise. But we focus on emerging markets, and so really we ask ourselves the jurisdictional risk involved in doing business in those markets. In other words, what is the track record of that sovereign in the sense of enforcing contracts and the rule of law? Do they have a consistent record of ensuring that interests are managed in such a way that, for example, in year 10, the rules of engagement don't all of a sudden change, and so your return profile also has to change. Is that something which has been consistent, or something that you have to be aware of, which obviously affects your investment and time horizon? And then if that is the case, then you start to look at, well, what is the expertise of management? How have they overcome in the past those types of obstacles, or have been able to de-risk projects in such a way that you're able to go over those minor road bumps and still come out in the end whole? Well, for me, this has been an interesting platform because of the quality of discussions that we've been able to have on a one-on-one basis. The presentations have been excellent, and the company representation and their ability to share a story in a very succinct way has allowed us to not only gain more interest and knowledge in the sector, but also build the necessary, what I would call confidence and trust, to want to find a way to further a relationship that really, for the first time, commenced during our period here. So I think it's a fantastic format, but to the event organizer itself, they've got a successful recipe that I think others are going to try to emulate. So the question is how do they up their game to get more or broaden and deepen the market for participation?